Hello everyone and welcome back to my The General Hospital 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drew Quartermaine will be doomed to lose while Valentin Cassadine must pay the price. Confused Carly Spencer will also have questions, so then's what GH suckers can anticipate. Now that Carly's opened her eyes in the sanitarium, Jack Brennan will breathe a shriek of relief. Still, Brennan will eventually turn his attention to taking down the person responsible for Carly's suffering. Wednesday's spoiler exercise shows that Carly will wonder why Brennan's rushing out the door and leaving her when she just woke up, but he'll want to shut Valentin down permanently and ensure Carly's safety. Anna Devane will also discover that Valentin is to condemn for Carly's fire, so she'll solicitude he won't survive the night. Brennan will surely be in vengeance mode, and he won't be the only one. Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan will get news on Carly's polonium poisoning, so they'll realize Valentin lost control of his plot against Brennan. Still, Sonny will push Jason to make sure Valentin's gone for good, if Brennan doesn't succeed in wiping Valentin off the chart. In the meantime, Valentin will pop in Laura Collins' place to sound the alarm about some pitfalls and maybe argue that Charlotte Cassadine must be defended. Laura will determine that Valentin isn't over his head, so she'll put her chops of persuasion to good use on Wednesday's show. Other GH spoilers say Nina Reeves will try to talk Willow Corinthos out of moving in with Drew. Despite Nina's sweats to offer and volition, it could be tough to vend Willow on the idea. Eventually, Tracy Quartermaine will make it clear to Drew that if he insists on going up against her, he's doomed to lose. Tracy will make a vaticination about always arising victorious, but he'll contend their feud is far from over. Drew and Tracy have further tense moments on the way, so stay tuned for updates on all the raising drama. Jocelyn Jacks will get a top-secret warning while Jack Brennan faces his worst fear. Harrison Chase will also hang to gossip, so some violent scenes are coming up. At the Quartermaine manse, Sasha Gilmore Corbin will state enterprises to Jason Morgan about Michael Corinthos and the maternity secret that needs to stay under wraps. Still, Jason may suppose they've got bigger problems now that Sasha has accepted Jen Sidwell's $250,000 offer. Since Sasha's on the verge of an admission, she may give Jason updates on her rearmost deal and leave him stewing for her safety. Meanwhile, Chase will fly into a rage now that Brooke Lynn Quartermaine has revealed the identity of her child's father. Brooke Lynn won't suppose this has to change anything, but Chase will completely differ. It looks like Chase will hang to gossip to Dante Falconeri since he deserves to know he's got another son out there. Brooke Lynn will understand that she's putting Chase in a tight spot, but it seems she'll supplicate him to keep quiet anyway. Over with Lulu Spencer, she'll question if she's being selfish during a discussion with Dante. Still, Dante clearly won't condemn her for that, if this is about Lulu wanting to sew up Charlotte Cassadine's time now that she's back. Next, Brad Cooper will throw a fit over the phone and demand backing right down. Would Brad dare talk to Selena Wu like that, or could he turn to notoriety differently for help rather? Brad will clearly be in extremity mode now that he's bloated effects with Lucas Jones, who'll awaken in bed with a leftover and a case of extreme demotion. Marco will step out of the shower and quiz Lucas about how he's feeling, so Lucas will apologize for being a crapulous mess last night. Although Lucas may assume they hooked up, Marco might correct him if he just attended Lucas back to his room for some sleep. Since Carly Spencer's life hangs in the balance, Brennan will fret over the possibility of losing her and it being his fault for dragging her into peril. Anna Devane will make a vaticination about Carly's cure arriving soon and hold out stopgap that it can save her before it's too late. Valentin Cassadine is the person behind Carly's polonium poisoning, so it won't be long until Brennan numbers that out and plots vengeance. In the meantime, Valentin will have to contend with Sonny Corinthos, who just possessed him with the armament drawn. Since Valentin broke in to steal some of his retired musts, Sonny will push for some answers. Valentin will be willing to blunder intel to Sonny in expedience of saving his own life and maybe scoring an escape route. Still, he might use the malefactor's identity to his advantage then, if Valentin has knowledge of who planted the extension explosive device. Whether Valentin blames Brennan or another character, Sonny might gain some precious information from this showdown. Away, Jocelyn will dispute with Vaughn her WSB tutor. Vaughn will feel the need to remind Jocelyn that her WSB training and forthcoming secret agent status must stay quiet ever. It'll be intriguing to see how soon Brennan chooses to discover the rearmost Carly news and whether that might affect Jocelyn's training. Jocelyn will have a hard time conforming to her new reality, so stay tuned for further assignments from Vaughn. They dress, and Lucas asks to pay for his dry cleaning. Marco says he can pay for his own, and Lucas thinks he must be really pathetic for Marco to be so nice to him. Marco says he isn't, and he liked him and the kiss. Marco asks how he's feeling now, as he wasn't just drunk, he was worried about his partner. Lucas thinks Marco must be remonstrating himself that he dropped his credit card last night. Marco isn't, and he's glad to have met him. Lucas says, unfortunately, the council is over, and he flies home hereafter. Marco says he should get going, but Lucas asks for his phone number, at least to repay him for his dry cleaning. Marco gives him his number, only to let him know he's recovered. Marco heads off and reminds Lucas to call him latterly. In his room, Brad calls Stella to rant that he's squinched effects up and needs her help. He says he told Lucas the verity and blew everything. Stella is proud he was honest and says maybe one day in the future, he and Lucas can be musketeers. Brad takes that to mean they can still have a future, which Stella isn't saying. Brad raves that Lucas will see he's a better person now. He says with Lucas's love, he'll be a whole new man. He hangs up after thanking her, and Stella says, Lord have mercy. Brad heads to Lucas' room, only to see him saying goodbye to Marco. At the WSB training installation, Vaughn finds Joss studying up on Easter Island to give a backstory for all the dispatches and prints being transferred to her family. He taunts her that she can go home if she see Aunt Hackett. Joss is tired of hearing him say that, and she's passed every test he's thrown at her. He's doubtful she has the internal strength to do this, and she needs to get used to telling falsehoods about her life, as this is how it'll be from now on. He says her family and musketeers won't know the real her, and this is a lonely life. He says in time, she'll realize it's easier to let people go than lie to them. She wonders if that's what he did. Did he give up his family and particular life for this job? Joss thinks he's still trying to get her to quit. He insists he's just being honest with her. She says she can lie to her family and musketeers about jobs, but she wouldn't be lying when she says she loves them. Plus, she'll know she's making the world safer for them. Vaughn likes her station, but she'll be pushed and challenged every day she's an agent. The tests no way stop. Joss says, bring it on. Tracy warns Drew she'll palm every time if he insists on going into a battle of head with her. At the sanitarium, Carly asks Brennan where he's going. He tells her he's going to make sure this no way happens again. Valentin warns Laura who and what she's going to be over against. Sonny tells Jason to make sure Brennan finishes the job. This whole fire could shake Carly up a bit and make her fret over Brennan's peril trickling down to her kiddies. Carly doesn't realize Jocelyn Jax has formerly been facing dangerous circumstances thanks to Brennan, who got Joss entangled in all the fatal Cyrus Renault drama and signed her for the WSB. Carly will get updates on some intimidating news down the road, so stay tuned for the curveballs headed her way.